has seen that I went through the miscarriage, and I was like, I want change, you know, I want to just start over. I want to just do something new. I don't want to like work here no more. I want to just start over somewhere new, somewhere fresh. And that's on like Indeed, and I'm looking for jobs. And the next thing you know, I'm seeing like school bus, school bus, school bus, school bus. I'm like, no, 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 no. Next, 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 next. I'm not trying to be no school bus driver. Absolutely not. He'd even like interview me. The verse that I said, I had to remind myself that I'm serving the Lord through my work at work. God's will be done, because honestly, like, it's all God. Like, it's all God. I honestly would have not even told you that I could see myself being a school bus driver. Never in my life. Never in my life. I mean, times in life, God will make you wait. God will teach you something during that waiting season. God will show you during that waiting season. God will help you during that waiting season. You're not just waiting to wait. Well, guys, hey, welcome to another video. If you're new here, hi, welcome. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being here. God loves you. I just want to let you know that God loves you. If you are a returning subscriber, a returning sister, a returning person who wants to watch my videos consistently and stay in loop, thank you. I truly, truly, truly appreciate all of you guys who are here joining this journey with me. God is just so good, honestly. Like, I could not be more than grateful, more than happy to have God in my life. Building a relationship with God has been so breathtaking. It's been a journey. It's been a beautiful, bumpy ride, but honestly, it's a very worth it journey. You know, building a relationship with God isn't easy, but when you have God, everything just seems so much more smoother. And although they get a little bit bumpy, I'm not saying that building a relationship with God is going to be 100% perfect, great, your life is aligned, everything is just going good for you. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that it's different when you have God in the center. It's different when you prioritize a relationship with God, when you spend time in His Word, when you spend time with Him, in His presence, with the Holy Spirit. It's just so beautiful. And I cannot say enough how much building my relationship with God has changed me as a person. Like, it has changed me in so many different ways. And I just want to let you guys know that, yes, it's beautiful. Yes, it's bumpy, but it's a very worth it journey. So whether you are just starting a relationship with God, whether you're continuing a relationship with God, whether you're going back to building a relationship with God, God will meet you in the middle of where you're at. Whether you're in a messy journey, whether you've sinned so much, whether you feel like you've abandoned God and you left God and you just don't want to hear nothing about God, God is there. God is literally there. He has known you before you were even in the womb. He knows your actions before you even do them. He knows your thoughts. Like, God knows, okay? Nobody knows you more than our Father. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. Nobody will love you as much as our Father loves you. Remember that always. There's nothing in this world, there's nothing on this earth that can make up for the love that God has for us. Jesus died on the cross for us. It goes to show how much God loves us. So guys, continue to build that relationship with God. Continue to spend time in His Word. Continue to allow God to meet you in the middle of where you are at. Whether it's bumpy or whether it's beautiful, allow God in. So I feel like my glasses are low-key like dirty. I don't know like what's going on. But so let me tell you guys something, right? We're gonna have a little chat. This is not like a mukbang video, but you guys are gonna have breakfast with me. So I went to the gym this morning, right? And I woke up at 4 a.m. So I've been waking up at 4 a.m. Well, I've been working on waking up at 4 a.m. and I've been very consistent with it. So like it's been kind of rough, right? I was training for like a promotional position in a new job, and I was like exhausted from like life, literally, from working at a law firm, sitting at an office, to now being in the job that I'm currently in. And it doesn't feel like a job. I can't lie. It does not feel like a job. It's something that I love to do, something I enjoy doing. I love seeing the kids. I love like just everything that comes with the job. I love it. I love how the community treats me, my coworkers. Like I absolutely love it. So I've been on this journey, right, to get like this position. And so I got it and now I'm qualified for it. And I've passed all my things that I needed to pass and I'm good to go. I'm ready. I'm set. But the past few months have been so long. Like when I tell you God had me waiting, like God had me waiting, like waiting. Even doing this video, I feel exhausted because I woke up at 4 a.m. this morning to do a workout and I feel good because I did the workout, but part of me is still exhausted because I woke up early, mind you, early, like 4 a.m. early. But I'm here. I'm here. I'm grateful. God's not done with me. He woke me up this morning. And I learned so much these months during this waiting season because it's been a lot. Like, it's been a lot. And through the journey of waiting and through the journey of feeling uncomfortable, feeling like I don't know what's gonna happen, not knowing the next step, not knowing what you don't know until you realize that you didn't know, if that makes any sense. So being in that journey these few months it's been a lot, and the reason it's been a lot is because, like I said before, I was used to like working in a law firm, used to working like set hours Monday through Friday, having off on the weekends, and now it's completely different. But I've learned so much in this season. So what I basically did, right, is that not earlier, but like the end of last year, I took a step back from something that I was always involved in. So in the beginning of the times of working, the very beginning of my working journey, I was working in the food field. And then I ended up working my way into like legal jobs. Not legal jobs, but like work that involved dealing with legal work. So like law firms, attorneys, legal assistants, paralegals, things like that, right? And so I had got into that space because I was finishing college with my criminal justice degree, and then I wanted to pursue something that aligned with that. So I spent a good few years aligned with that space. And then it came a point in time where obviously you guys have seen that I went through the miscarriage, and I was like, I want change. I want to just start over. I want to just do something new. I don't want to like work here no more. I want to just start over somewhere new, somewhere fresh. And that's exactly what I did. So I was like filling applications after applications after applications. And I was just like, God, like, I need a job. Like, let your will be done. I had left the job. I was doing Instacart, DoorDash, back to back, morning to afternoon, like a good few hours, ran up a few miles in my car, but I got, I had my part of the bills and whatnot. So then I prayed to God, and I was just like, God, like, where do you want me? Because like, I don't want to just get a job to get a job. Like, I want to be purposeful. I want to be able to like know that I'm serving you through my job. And there's a Bible verse that I'm gonna see if I can find it, honestly. I'm gonna literally tell you guys right now. So if I ever feel like I remember a Bible verse but I don't remember, I'll Google it and then I'll go back to the Bible itself and I'll say it. So right now let me see. Where let me see. Where in the Bible, let me see. I can't even type. Jeez, does it talk about working for God and serving the Lord through work? I literally cannot type right now. Okay, so it says, all right, so it's going to Colossians, but I don't think it's that one. Let me see. Colossians 3:24. Let me see. Let me see if it's that, which I don't think it is. Colossians, if I could find, like, girl, where you going? Colossians 3:24. knowing that you will receive the reward of an inheritance from the Lord. You serve the Lord Christ. It's not this one, but there's a Bible verse where I'm going to try to see if I can find it. Bible verse where it says, work at your job as if you were serving the Lord. I don't remember, like, I don't know why I'm so loud right now. I don't remember, but I guess it is Colossians 3:23. So Colossians 3:23, it says, don't work only while being watched as people pleasers, but work wholeheartedly, fearing the Lord. Whatever you do, oh, it is this one. Okay, so it says in Colossians 3, right? 22, slaves, obey your human masters in everything. Don't work only while being watched as people pleasers, but work wholeheartedly, fearing the Lord. Whatever you do, do it from the heart as something done for the Lord and not for people, knowing that you will receive the reward of an inheritance from the Lord. You serve the Lord Christ. For the wrongdoer will be paid back for whatever wrong he has done, and there is no favoritism. So I felt that because I wanted to go somewhere where I felt needed. I wanted to go somewhere where I knew it was to serve God and be purposeful. I didn't want to just work to just get paid and have the bills paid. I wanted to be purposeful. I wanted to know that every single day I walk into work, I'm being used in a good way. I'm being used for the glory of God. I'm being used for how God wants me in that area, in that phase, in that room, in that job, in that whatever town, city, whatever. I want to know that this was of God. So, one day I'm like scrolling on like Indeed and I'm looking for jobs, and the next thing you know, I'm seeing like school bus. I'm like, no, 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 no. Next. I'm not trying to be no school bus driver. Absolutely not. So like my friend who's a truck driver, they were like, oh, you should do it. Like, they make good money. You could get your CDL license. And then next thing you know, like, they can help you. They can train you instead of you spending thousands of dollars like that person did to get their truck license and so on and so on. And I'm just like, no, still no, buddy. Nope, I do not want to be a school bus driver. Absolutely not. But then I felt like I was being like disobedient to God because like everywhere I looked, I kept seeing more school buses. I kept seeing like applications for school buses, like jobs were hiring, literally hiring. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. So then I'm like, you know what? One day I was just like, you know what? DMV, get the book, got the book, whatever. The book was sitting there. And I literally have it here. I got this book, right? Same day, I literally left it there. I left it in the room. I was just like, no, like, I will look at it later. So, like, that person asked me, they were like, oh, have you looked at the book? And I was like, no. Like, I looked at it, but not looked at it. Like, it's there, but it's, not here. So I felt like I was being disobedient to maybe what God wanted me to do. But then one day I really went through and I was just reading. I'm just like, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe it's not so bad. So I threw an application in. I threw out a few applications. I did an application for 2 different locations of the same company, and the other location called me back, and they were further than my house. And they were like, hey, like, I see you had applied to like this location and this location. Which one are you closer to? And I was just like, I really don't know which one I'm closer to. So they looked it up and then they decided, that the other location, which I'm currently in, is closer to where I live. So long story short, I'm still doing DoorDash, still doing Instacart, and I get a call. And the call was from the person that was hiring from the bus company. And I answer and I'm just like, hello, we're talking, whatever. And I sat back and I'm just like, are you serious? The school bus company actually called me? I don't have no endorsements. I don't have no like license, no permit, no nothing. Go in for an interview and very like, I don't even know like how to even say, but like he was very blunt, very nice, very respectful, very like supportive and good. And he was just like, hey, like, these are the things you would need. Are you interested? This is the pay. And he's like breaking everything down to me. He didn't even like interview me. He didn't even get to know me. He had my resume there, looked through it, and then he was like, do you have experience with children? And I was like, not necessarily, not really, but I'm good with children. Like, I love kids, I love kids. So then I basically don't even do the interview. And he gave me like an advice, and he was just pretty much telling me about the details of getting my endorsements, getting my license, the steps, the process, everything that I had to do, right? So boom. So then I'm like, how am I like, how did I get here? Like, how am I even in this room? Like, in this job right now? Like, the man didn't even interview me. Like, what? I'm confused. But I said, you know what? That's just gotta be God, right? So whatever, boom. So I get all my endorsements. I do my air brakes. I do my passenger. I do my general knowledge. I did like so many tests. When I tell you so many tests, I'm talking about like so many tests. DMV knew me at this point. DMV literally knew me at this point because I had to go back there like 3 times for my air brakes. I don't even know about air brakes. I don't even know about like any mechanical stuff about a car. Not like that now. Especially a school bus. A school bus out of all things. No. So anyways, right? So I go and I'm completed, like I'm done. I'm basically in now. So before I had got my air brakes and all that, I was, doing like the minivans, doing the other vehicles that they had and whatnot. So it was cool. I was getting used to driving students around. I had different routes. I had like one that was like an hour away, one that was like 2 hours away. Like, I went to Yonkers, I went to Monticello, I went to Port Jervis. Like, well, not Port Jervis yet, but there's one route that's going there that I haven't done yet, but I will go there one day. We'll see. I had went to New Paltz. Like, I went everywhere, right? Like, I'm everywhere. So I'm having fun with it. I'm enjoying it, whatever. So then training starts. And mind you, I was training for like the longest, right? I was training for the longest on a positive note. So we're training, we're going through it. So I'm basically working my morning route, going training, like going to do some training, have like an hour to myself, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours tops, and then going to my afternoon run. So I was so exhausted. Like, I was so exhausted. And there was a time where I literally stopped going to the gym for like a good month, which was honestly in May, because of the fact that I felt like I was mentally everywhere. Like, May was a time that I would have given birth when, like, if I didn't go through the miscarriage, May would have been the month that I was going to give birth, right? So already enough, because I went through the miscarriage, already enough, May, that was in my head in May. Like, dang, like I would have given birth, I would have had a baby, the baby would have been here. Like, I was literally, like, let's be honest, like, literally everywhere. So I'm like, you know what? I need to get myself together because clearly, it's an emotional wreck this month. I was already going through it. Like, I was already going through it. So then I go and I stopped going to the gym. I'm just going to work. I'm just going home. I'm basically kind of locking in, just not with the gym. And it kind of took a toll on me too because, guys, like, if you're going to the gym, like, you feel so motivated, so disciplined, so in it, you're consistent, you're like doing it, right? And the gym makes you feel good, look good, and you're just like up and ready to go. So without the gym, I was like drained. I had these communities that I was in. I was going to CR, I was going to step study. Not only was I going to CR and step study, but I was also like wanting to serve at church. They had asked me if I wanted to be another leader in a women's group. So I was like, yes. Like, I got to work on this, I got to work on that, and just all these different stuff, right? So not only that, I was working, doing the groups, and then obviously I got back to like serving God through the platforms that he has blessed me with, and I started creating videos. So now I'm like more of an emotional wreck because I'm literally on the go, and I was exhausted. And that's why I say, guys, I was exhausted. So going back to the verse that I said, I had to remind myself that I'm serving the Lord through my work at work. I'm not just here to make money, but I'm serving God. I'm making sure that I'm taking each and every student to their locations safely, whether it's to work, whether it's to school, or whether it's home, or whether it's to a daycare, or whether it's just me training. I'm like driving. Like, I was exhausted. So I just say all that to say that, like, it's been a lot these past few months, especially with this position that I was in. It has been a lot. So it's like pretty much with going back and forth, whether it was with the morning route, then going to training, then going to the afternoon run. It was a lot. And like I mentioned, I wasn't going to the gym. Not a spider being on like the other side of my windshield. It needs to stay on that side. We are not trying to get no spiders up in here. It's literally like right on my windshield, low key. But anyways, guys, yeah, like the waiting period was a lot. Like, it was genuinely a lot. But if I'm being honest, I should low key like close this, because I'm gonna close it because I'm not trying to have no spider in my car. No, we don't need no spider up in here. Let me just leave this a little open. It better just, I'm gonna just like flick it the other way. Okay, it's leaving. My bad, y'all. It's just that season, man. It's literally that season. But anyways, guys, so it's been a journey with like the whole waiting period. And I say this because when I'm building a relationship with God, or when anyone is building a relationship with God, it comes with trials and errors. You know, you're gonna sin, you're gonna have to wait, you're gonna have to be obedient, you're gonna have to learn to be patient, and you're gonna learn so much about yourself, because honestly, you just never really know yourself. So during the waiting period, it was a lot. It was mentally draining. Like I said, in May, I was supposed to give birth. I was an emotional wreck. I literally had no energy to do anything. I was exhausted. I was tired. I was always sleeping. And then you have your monthly females. Y'all know about the monthlies. She want to come around. And then you obviously are going through that. So it was just mentally a lot. And then obviously I shared my testimony, and I know that sharing my testimony would be not an eye opener to many, but it would be a way back to serving God, to doing things God's way, not my way. So in the midst of me coming back, I needed to make sure that I had a clear headspace, that I wasn't just coming back to come back. And that's exactly what it was. And that's exactly why I'm here, because I want to serve God, and I'm serving God through my job. I love my job. Yes, guys, I did get my CDL. Yes, I'm officially a school bus driver. Yes, I do plan on staying where I'm at for a few years, letting God's will be done, because honestly, like, it's all God. Like, it's all God. I honestly would have not even told you that I could see myself being a school bus driver. Never in my life. Never in my life. I'm in my middle 20s. I did go to college. I moved a lot growing up. I've always worked since the time that I started working. I've always been working to this point. And now I don't even feel like this is literally a job. I feel like I just do it. I get like a good gap between my morning route and my afternoon route. And I say this to say, guys, that very recently I was able to pass all the things that I needed to pass to get my CDL. And when I passed it, I felt so relief, because God knows how hard I've worked to get here. It was not like easy. It was not easy, especially if you're someone who, you don't know about air brakes, you don't know about endorsements, you don't know about any mechanical between a car, a vehicle, and a bus, if that literally, and the bus. Yeah, it's if you're going from something that has nothing to do with the other, it's challenging, especially when you're adjusting to everything. Like you're adjusting to the things that you need to do, you're adjusting to training, you're adjusting to working, you're adjusting to a new lifestyle. Like you're constantly adjusting. And that's exactly where I was when it came down to starting this new job. And now that I'm officially a school driver, it has taken a lot off of my shoulders. And I learned a lot during this waiting period. During this waiting period, guys, it has not been easy financially, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, like in every kind of way, it was not easy. But one thing I can give myself grace for and flowers for is the fact that I still showed up. There were so many nights where I did not want to go to step study. I did not want to go to Celebrate Recovery, but I did. I knew that I made a commitment to literally go to step study and work on myself and build and answer the questions very honestly and allow myself to heal from any past hurts, hangups, or traumas that I have dealt with in the past, and even to get to know myself in a different way and go through a healing the way that God wants me to go through a healing. So I did not give up. I knew the commitment behind step study, and not only was I committing to step study, I was also committing to CR. Going to step study aligns with CR. You're going to have to talk about so many different things in step study that are going to bring back all these memories, all these things that you dealt with, even thinking about your past, to then having to go to CR to then realize that if you go to CR, you're able to release it, you're able to let it go, you're able to figure out ways that are going to help you heal from what you have talked about the night before. So I can't lie to you guys, like, if it wasn't for step study, if it wasn't for CR, if it wasn't for the community, I don't even know where I would be mentally when it comes to the things that I dealt with in May, because it was genuinely a lot. And then, like I said before, sharing my testimony and sharing what I had went through in May of last year, it wasn't easy either. But I wouldn't have done it without God, honestly. I wouldn't have been able to pick up the pieces myself to get to where I needed to get to. And it wasn't where I wanted to get to, it's where God wanted me to get to. And that's something that I had to be obedient about. It's not about my way, my plans, my will. No, it's about God's plans, God's way, and God's will, not mine. So once I started to lock in, once I started to continue to build my relationship with God, once I started to continue to spend more time in His Word, I was able to get through it. And now that I'm through it, and now that I look back, yeah, I'm a bit tired, but I'm adjusting now to the fact that I don't need to go through training anymore. Because now that I have my license, I'm able to have, now that that's done and I'm able to drive the big buses and I'm able to drive more of the other vehicles, I can now relax. On my actual break that I have between my morning and my afternoon run, I now have a break. And if it wasn't for God helping me, if it wasn't for God renewing my strength, if it wasn't for God leading me in the right direction, I would not be here. Like I said before, I wouldn't even have thought about being a school bus driver. I never would have thought about getting my CDL. And here I am. Not only that, guys, in the midst of all of that, it was challenging. I was only getting paid training hours. These bugs are out today. I was only getting paid training hours, and that was not what I was getting paid when I was working at the law firm. When I was working at the law firm, I was getting paid a good amount, and we're talking about Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. But I wasn't growing there. And because of the fact that I couldn't grow and get promoted and learn more about the location, about the job, about my position, is the reason why I took a step back and was like, maybe I need to revisit where I need to work at and allow God to put me where He wants me to serve and work at. And that's how I got to this place. But it came with sacrifice. It didn't happen one day through another. It came with sacrifice. Like I had literally made a decision, and with the decision, like getting paid what I was getting paid was literally cutting it short. Like I was barely doing it. But I knew that I had God. I knew that God was going to make a way. I wasn't worrying about my gas. I wasn't worrying about this bill or that bill. No, because I knew that God will make a way for me. God will provide. God will always provide for you. And that's why I had remained faithful to God. I had stuck to the commitment that I had made. I continued to go to step study. I continued to go to CR. I continued to serve God through the platforms. I continued because I understood that this was coming. The fact that I went through what I went through to get to where I'm at now, to get my CDL, and I got my CDL, I wouldn't have been able to do it by myself. Literally, not by myself. And because of the fact that I had community, because of the fact that I was serving God and I was staying focused on God, my focus remained on God, was why I was able to get to where I'm at today. So anything that you're doing, anything that you're working on, remind yourself, guys, that listen, there's always a blessing behind the struggle. Always. Sometimes you have to sacrifice. Sometimes you have to choose between two things. Sometimes you have to ask yourself, do I really deserve this? Do I really want to go through this? Do I trust God? Am I going to live by faith and walk by sight? Or am I going to live in fear? Am I going to let God, let God handle it? Or am I going to try to handle it myself? Sometimes, a lot of times, what it looks like is sitting still. Sometimes all we got to do, guys, is just sit still and understand that God's way is always the best way. And I constantly am repeating this because, like, we all struggle. We all have something that we're worrying about. We all have something that we're working towards. We all have something that we're doing, hopefully. And it doesn't just stop there. Once you accomplish one thing, it doesn't just stop there. It continues. And I want you to know that I'm proud of you for showing up. I'm proud of you for the fact that you kept going, for the fact that you didn't give up, for the fact that, yes, when times got tough, you wanted to give up, but you chose not to give up. And I'm proud of you. And I say this to myself too, because it's like, there's so many times that I could have given up. There's so many times that I could have been like, nah, like, I don't want to do this CDL no more. Like, it wasn't an easy experience. It literally was not. I had to go to one location. Well, my first test, it got rescheduled. Then I had to wait like a few weeks. And then after that, when I went to go take it, it was not it because like our communication wasn't there. Like I was not understanding what he was asking for, like what he wanted me to like address or whatever. And then that had to be rescheduled. And then a month later, it was rescheduled. So meaning I had to wait a whole month because that's the soonest date. That's the earliest date that they had. I had to literally wait a month. And then during that month, I was like, I just want to get this over with. I stopped studying the material. I was just like, you know what? I'm going to just let God handle it. Let God's will be done. Whatever's meant to be will be. I'm going to just go in there and do it. The third time I went, I officially took the test, but then I had made like 2 mistakes and it was basically like a failing mistake. So I had to go back and do, dang, all these mosquitoes outside of my car. And I'm thinking it's in my car, but it's outside of my car. It's so annoying. But last time I took it, boom, got it. I was done. The minute I saw that I passed everything, it made me realize how sometimes in life, God will make you wait. God will teach you something during that waiting season. God will show you during that waiting season. God will help you during that waiting season. You're not just waiting to wait. And then looking back now, it's like soon school's gonna end and I'm gonna be doing field trips. Maybe it just wasn't my season. Maybe it just wasn't my time. But you know what though? During the waiting season, I learned so much. During all the chaos, guys, after the miscarriage, I have learned so much. And it's all thanks to God. I could not have done this without God. And I'm just here to remind you that you cannot do it without God. You need God. You can only do so much with your own strength. God will renew your strength. God will lead you. God will protect you. So with that being said, guys, make sure you guys like this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel because it doesn't just stop here. There's many more videos to come and many more testimonies, guys, because there's so much that I want to share with you guys because God is so good. God is so faithful. And remember, God's way is always the best way. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good rest of your day or whatever time you're watching this. Either way, God bless. See you in the next video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And love you. Bye and God bless.